Oh hi. Changchun, the city of sub-provincial value to provinces gerunds of the People's Republic of China, the place of stay of the authorities of the province. In 1800 the Changchun Commissariat was in these parts educated. In 1825 borders of a commissariat were expanded. In local chronicles it is told, the local dealers have wide benches. Therefore instead of 2 hieroglyphs Changchun often write only 1 hieroglyph. As a result Changchun of the time was better known as Kanshunji, literally, wide city. In 1889 the Changchun Commissariat was raised to the status of the Changchun Justice. Growth of the city began in connection with construction of the southern branch. Harbin, Port Arthur, Lushan, Chinese East Railroad. The railroad came here in May 1898. The railway station was built to the north of the town of Kanshunji, the modern region of Nangwon, and received the same name. Near the railway station the modern city which began to be called over time Kanshunji, the modern region of Quancheng, began to develop, and old Kanshunji began to call Changchun by the name of a justice. The Russian settlement was separately in total 3,000 people. During the Boxing Revolt of 1900 the city was set on fire, several buildings are destroyed. After that near the western wall the military camp was put. After defeat of Russia in war with Japan, under the Portsmouth Peace Treaty Changchun got to a zone of control of Japan, and became one of the main centers of the Japanese presence in the southern Manchuria. The railroad from Changchun was also transferred to the south to Japan, having formed the Southern Manchursky Railroad. Sir. From Kanshunji Kvaavs which was under the Russian control began. Because of a difference in track width, in the city a large number of porters between 2 stations worked. Japanese bought through Mitsui Trading Olorado the land in the city, and together with the annexed sites by 1905 the authorities announced her commercial area which is in use of Japan. Since 1907, according to the plan of Go-To Simpi colonial building of the city was carried up. According to the plan of 15% occupied houses, 9% parks and on 1/3 farm and commercial buildings. In planning parking for the Russian droshky were also considered. After the Sinkisky Revolution in China reform of structure of administrative division during which justices and areas were abolished was undertaken, and commissariats were turned into ordinary counties. During this reform the territory earlier directly subordinated to the Changchun Justice in 1913 was transformed to the County Changchun. Since 1920 in the county construction of city infrastructure began, however officially the County Changchun was transformed to the city only at the Japanese occupation, since January 1, 1932. Since March 14, 1932 Changchun under the name Xinjiang. The new capital. I was the capital of the state of Manchukuo. The Japanese part of the city informally was called the Bean City, thanks to trade in soy and grain in which main place was taken by Mitsui and Olorado. During the Japanese occupation near the city, Group 100 was deployed. It was taken by the Soviet troops in August 1945 as a result of Manchurian operation. On December 20, 1945, Xinjiang was officially renamed back into Changchun. During the Civil War in China, the Kuomintang government concentrated about 100,000 troops in Changchun. The city was taken by the Chinese Communists on October 10, 1948 after a 5-month siege. Now one of the centers of mechanical engineering industry of China. The resolution of the State Council of the People's Republic of China of June 19, 2020 under jurisdiction of the authorities of Changchun from structure of the city district of Saipan transferred the city county of Bonjuan. Changchun is located in the center of the plain Songliao. Total area for 2008 was km, including municipal lands, 2583 km, and municipal areas of 159 km. The city is at the height of 350 m above sea level. The city is located in the center of 3 northeast provinces at the intersection of the third of the European-Asian Continental Bridge. In 20 km to the southeast from the center there is a Lake Jinyatan, the Lake of the Clean Moon, with the park in 96 km. The city of sub-provincial value Changchun is divided into 7 areas, 3 city counties, 1 county. Economy. In 2010 DDD reached 332.9 billion yuans that made 15.3% of annual growth. Primary sector of economy grew by 3.3% to value of 25.27 billion yuans. The secondary sector of economy increased volume by 19.0%, having reached 171.99 billion yuans, and the tertiary sector increased by 12.6% to 135.64 billion yuans. The center of the heavy industry, production of cars in which was 9% of all Chinese in 2009. Besides, the city specializes in the food, electronic, biotechnological, medical industry and power. The major transit point in the west of China. In 1997 in the city the Bank of Jilin was founded. Changchun is the large center of automotive industry. In the city the first automotive works. 4 company and also 4 joint ventures with the American company General Motors, the Japanese company Toyota and the German companies Volkswagen and Audi is based. 4 Jifang and 4 light-duty commercial vehicle subsidiaries make in Changchun trucks of various classes, pickups, minivans and SUVs, and 4 Volkswagen automobile cars. Following the results of 2024, Group Corporation realized 3.7 million cars, that is 7.1% more than in 2019. Also in Changchun the plant of the Caris Group rolling stock is located. In 2007 the giant stock company with limited liability, the Changchun Chinese-Russian Scientific and Technical Park, functioning on a market basis, is created. A number of the Chinese-Russian joint laboratories which are engaged in cultivation of mushrooms, development of rare earth materials, net energy is created. SES is created in 1988 by analogy with SES in Shenzhen and received the status nationwide in 1991. After completion of creation of infrastructure, rapid development of a zone began with the end of the 90th. Located in the southern part of the city, occupies the total area of 30 km. Includes 18 universities and colleges, 39 research establishments, 11 scientific laboratories. In a zone the companies Ford, Itochu Olarada, Marubeni Olarada, Siemens, Goldley and Group work. The zone develops 5 main directions. Technologies of bioengineering, integration of photoelectronics and mechanics, new materials, cars, electronics and information. The planned area by 2020, 210 km. In the future the zone will become a part of the economic zone Changchun, Jilin, Tumen. Says of technical and economic development. Says of nationwide level. Occupies the space of 112 km. Resident population minus 200,000 demand. By 2011 invest 29 countries and regions, 87 multinational companies in development of a zone, including 35 of the list of the largest 500. 3 main directions of development are created. Production of cars and auto parts, biochemical industry, industry of services sector. Array part. Information Industrial Park of Optoelectronics. Industrial Park of Biochemistry. Zone of production of food. Coca-Cola, Pepsi-Cola, United Group, etc. Auto-Industrial Park of Special Function. Full Group M, Seini Heavy Industry, Ligon, Komatsu Engineering Machinery. The Park on Production of Auto Parts. Bus, FOM, Car, Power Automotive Parts, Toyota Engine, Continental Vehicle Electronics, Rich Dimension, Johnson Controls Automotive Interiors, etc. Park of the Connected Logistics. The Park on Production of the Equipment. Sanding Transformer Manufacturing, XEM Casting, Power Equipment Manufacturing. The Park of the Latest Technologies. It is aimed on production of new materials, energy, information technologies, medicine, environment protection, etc. Automobile Zone of Economy, Trade and Development. Says of provincial level. It is founded in 1993 as the Changchun Center of Trade in Cars, and in 1996 it is transformed to the Changchun Automobile Area of Economy, Trade and Development. It is located in the southwest part of the city near China First Automobile Works Group Corporation and Film Studios. The total area of a zone -m. Zone of development of the computer equipment. Says of provincial level. Within a zone tourist attractions of national value are located. Under jurisdiction of a zone of development there are 2 towns, 2 forest areas, the Lake Jinyu, the Changchun Film Studio and the Imperial Palace Museum. In the same place the campus of Northeastern University and Tourist College of Jilin University are located. Occupies about 500 km. Evolved from the national park founded in 1934. It is located on the western slopes of the mountain of Changchun. The rare Changchun tram and the modern system of lines of easily rail transport, or REIT, which is complemented with lines of the ordinary subway work in the city. Create the high-speed highways passing through the city: Tongjing, Sanya, Beijing, Harbin, Changchun, Saipin, Changchun, Jiren, Changchun, Inchensa. At distance of 31 km to the east from Changchun there is an international airport. Longjia opened in 2005. He also serves the city of Jiren. The Dafangshan Airport, the first in the history of the province, existed from 1941 to 2005. 3 railway stations provide the message with the neighboring provinces. The main station is located on the west bank of the river Itang, through which there passes the bridge. Culture. Imperial Manchukuo Palace. The Imperial Manchukuo Palace, Palace of the Puppet Emperor Wai Honggong, a complex of constructions of the Imperial Palace of Puand. Museum of Culture, Art and Science. Museum of the Province Jilin. Capitals and Tombs of the Ancient Kingdom Kaguryo. Natural History Museum Jilin. Museum of A Calligraphy. Jilin Automobile Museum. Changchun Kanagorodek. Parks and Squares. Chain Park. And Small Lake Nangkou. Nangkou Park. The largest park of Changchun, the area of the lake is 920,000 m. People's Square. Zhenmin, where the Massachusetts grave of the Soviet pilots remains. Victory Park. Kulturnaya. Wenhua. Square surrounded with the Japanese buildings of the beginning of the 20th century. New Palace of the Emperor of Manchukuo, former building of the State Council and building of military affairs. Children's Park. Beishan Park. Zinmin Square. Road Ring. Changchun Park of a World Sculpture. Area of 93 hectares. The realism, abstract expressionism, modernism and postmodernism are presented. Automobile Cultural Park. Museum and Trade and Exhibition Center. The Precious Pagoda of a Liao Dynasty era located in 70 km from the city, 44 m high. Forest Jinyatan Park. Located in 15 km to the southeast. The area -150 km. Including a water area zone, over 430 hectares. Cinema. In the city the film studio opened in 1949 is located and the film festival in August is annually held. Religion. Buddhist monastery, Bose. Is in the northeast of People's Square. Construction of this monastery began in 1922. The area -7,200 m. Catholic Cathedral of St. Teresa. The mosque is built in 1824. Temple Wen, or Confucius's Temple. It is constructed in 1827. Famous people. Asakuzet Zanshan is the Chinese general counteracting the Japanese intervention in Manchuria. Wan Fulin, the militarist from Fantyansky clique, the governor-general of Heilongjiang in 1928-1931, the participant of the fucking Chinese War. Xuanhua is the Chansky Buddhist monk, the important figure of the Buddhism in the United States in the 20th century. Li Sanzi. Sword. In 1939. The First Lady of the Republic of Korea. 1980-1988. Li Yugang is the Chinese actor, the performer of roles of women's role. The girl in a motley dress. In the Beijing Opera. Liu Xiaobo is the Chinese human rights activist, the Nobel Peace Prize laureate of 2010. Wang Hao. Tennis player. The Chinese table tennis player, the repeated world champion and the repeated owner of the World Cup. The Olympic champion of 2008 in team and the three-time vice-champion of the Olympic Games in singles. 2004, 2008 and 2012. Educational institutions. Jilin University. Changchun University. Changchun Polytechnical University. Changchun Technological University. Northeast Pedagogical University. Jilin Agricultural University. Changchun Pedagogical University. Jilin Institute of Russian. Jilin Institute of Foreign Languages. Till 1948 the school for the Russian girls worked. Sport. In Changchun both summer and winter sports are developed. The Changchun Yate team acts in the first division of the Championship of China on soccer. On August 28, 2006 in Changchun the match, the first in the history of China, on a game-in was held. In 2007 Changchun carried out opening and closing of Asian Winter Games. Also far. Write comments. Read comments. Interesting people will tell interesting stories. All of good mood and good luck.